Hello everyone, this is Mayuk Mazumdar and I'm back with another exciting session. So let's proceed. In this fourth session, what we will be studying is more about the data structures. So to begin with, I'll be showing you some more functionalities of list. We have various built-in functions such as list.append or list.extend or maybe list.insert to insert an element into a given position. Those list.append is to add elements to the end of a list. List.extend is to extend the list by appending all the items. Then list.remove to remove the position at a certain to remove the element at a certain position. Then list.pop that removes the items at a given position in the list and returns it. If no index is specified, then in the list.pop it removes and returns the last item in the list. Then we have list.clear or list.count or list.sort to sort the elements of a list. Then we have list.reverse, list.copy, and some other built-in functionalities. So first and foremost in this session, we will be showing you how to use list as a stack. I am back with my cheat sheet again from where I'll be teaching you all. So the first task that we have is we are defining. In this example, we'll be showing list as a stack. So we have this stack as a list of having the variable name as stack and its element of 3, 4, and 5. So what I'm doing is I'm appending 6 to it and then I'm appending 7 to it. Let's see when after appending when I print to it what it prints. Boom. We have 3, 4, 5 along with 6 and 7. Now let me pop an element without saying any index. So when I pop, what happens? Let me see. When I pop, yes, the last element gets popped out. And then again, I'll be popping one more and I'll finally see what's the status of my stack. Yes. So see, as in stacks, we can pop. So over here what happens, the list method makes it very easy to use the list as a stack where the last element added is the first element retrieved, that is last in first out. And see, the 7 was the last in, it got eliminated at first, then we have the 6, so then again it got eliminated. So the last in first out or LIFO is satisfied. So in this manner we can use the list element as a stack in Python. Now I'll be using list as a queue. So for that we have to import from the package named as collections. I have to import dq. What I'm doing is I'm defining 3 names in our dq: Eric, John, and Michelle. So when I'm appending now I'm appending Terry to it. So Terry comes into the meeting or the party that we have defined as the queue. Then I'm again appending Graham. So Graham also arrives at the party. Now after that let me print and see what happens. How many members are there? Yes. So see, we have Eric, John, Michelle along with Terry and Graham. Now I'll be using this pop left function. So what it happens is it will element the leftmost element. It will pop the leftmost element from the queue. So let me run. So Eric has been popped out of the list. Now if I print the entire list, so what happens is, let me see, John, Michelle, Terry, and Graham stays, but Eric has been popped out. So it is also possible to use the list as a queue where the first element added is the first element retrieved, that is the first in first out or the FIFO rule. It stands. So I showed you how to use the list as a stack as well as a queue over here. Now I'll be performing some operations on list. First to start with is list comprehension. What am I doing is I've defined an empty list of the variable name as squares. So now for x in the range 10, that is in my last session I told you about the range loop. So for loop and the range function, so it will generate numbers from 0 to 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, these 10 elements and we'll assign 1 each at a time to x. So, and what squares will be appended to? This list will be appended to x squares star star 2. So that means it will return the square of each element in the range 10 and will append to the list square. So let's see what happens. The empty list gets filled with elements 0, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. That means the squares of the element from 0 to 9. So this same thing can be done using this map function. What am I doing is, as I said in the last class about the last session about lambda function. So here lambda function, what it performs, it defines a local variable x and it returns the square of it. And in the map function is just a substitution for looping, and this map operates in the range of 10. So the same thing that we have done in using this for loop will be appended to here, and all the elements will be converted. Here I'm doing the typecasting of list to squares. All this element will be appended to the variable square, which will hence be an object of type list. So when I print to it, let's see, yes, both of them have the same results. Now this again can be done in this manner, where I am using the for loop again and defining it within the list variable parenthesis itself. So what it will return x square for every x in the range 10, and let me print it. It does the same operation. So this is how lists have been used in multiple ways. That's what list comprehension is all about. We can concise our operations in various manner using list. So instead of using this 3 line, we have done it using a single line using map function. Then again also, even we have substituted this map function and we have just used the parentheses to define it as a list, and the operations that are performed every time remains the same. So this was what I was saying about list comprehension. The next one that we have in hand is the del statement. So as the name suggests, it is used to eliminate or remove an item from a list. So let me define a list of having elements 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now if I remove the 0th index of a list, in 2 sessions back I was saying about indexing, how indexing in Python begins from 0 and iterates over all the elements of the list. So if I want to delete the 0th index element, that is the first element of the list, so I can simply use del function followed by the list name and then the position, and if I print it, I'll see that 1 have been eliminated and 2, 3, 4, and 5 remains. So this is how you can use del function or del statement to remove a specific element from a list. Now all I was saying about list. So lists are mutable component in Python, whereas similar to list, what we have is a tuple. A tuple is also a collection of items, but just as we represent list as open close third bracket, but we represent tuple as open close first bracket within the collection is defined within first bracket, opening and closing of first bracket. So the main difference between a list and a tuple is list is mutable, whereas tuples are immutable. Now what does mutable immutable means? So basically mutable means that it can be modified, and immutable means it cannot be modified. So that's the main difference. We can at any point of time we can manipulate the elements of a list and modify them, whereas in tuple being immutable, the objects cannot be changed after it has been created. So let's see over here, but we can iterate through the elements of a tuple. So this tuple I have defined as a combination of integers and string. So let me print the element in the 0th index. See, it gives 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let me show you magic. So I'm printing the type of the element at 0th index, and it returns me int. Now let me print the element at the third element, that is the element at index 2, and also the type of it. So I'm just printing both and also the type of the string. So a tuple can consist of a number and a string together as well. So over here I showed you the first element is an integer and its type is int, whereas the third element is a string and its type is string, and both are together defined within a single tuple. So we introduced you, so I introduced you to the list as well as the tuples over here. Now another type of data structure is set. What is a set? A set is an unordered collection and with no duplicate element. It's as simple as the set in math where the elements are not duplicate. Over here I have defined a bucket which consists the elements is apple, pear, orange and banana. Then when I'm printing basket, we will get to see that the duplicate elements have been removed. So apple appears only once, orange appears only once. So this is as I initially said, that this is unordered. It won't be in the same order that you have seen, that you have mentioned. See over here apple comes first, then orange, but over here see the orders have been rearranged. So it is unordered. It comes as in any format. If I run again, the order may change as well. See, apple now is coming at first, whereas banana and pear got their left exchange. So it's unordered. If you need to have an order, so you can use order dict in Python, which I'll be showing you in later some sections. So now another thing is that using this sets or list or tuple, what we can do is we can check whether an element is present in the list or set or tuple or not. So over here in this set, I am going to check that whether orange is present in basket or not. Let's see what it returns. It returns true. Yes, orange is present in a basket. So it can be easily an instant element checker where you can find from a huge set that whether an element is present or not. If it's present, it will return you with a value as true, and if it's not, it will return you a value as false. Now I will be going into dictionaries. So what is this dictionary? The main operation on a dictionary are storing a value with some key and extracting the value by giving the key. So over here I have defined a dictionary, and it says it has two keys, that is Jack and Seth, and they have some specific numbers assigned to it, 4098, 4139. Now this is the dictionary which is assigned the variable name of the variable is 10. Now I am adding one more key and value to the dictionary, that is I am adding a new element to the dictionary. So I am adding Guido and assigning the value of it to be 4127. So now if I run and it has been assigned. Now if I want to see the dictionary, if I run, see we get the elements that are already existing, Jack and Seth, and then we got Guido added to it. Now I want to delete an element from the dictionary. Similarly, using the del keyword, I can delete that element, and after deleting, if I print, then I will get to see that the element ID, that the key corresponding to Seth have been deleted. Corresponding to the key Seth have been deleted from the dictionary. Now if I want to find out all the keys of the dictionary, so what I do, I just print list of the dictionary name. So over here I get to find all the keys. So if you have a huge dictionary, there were maybe thousands of keys are there. So you just keys and value pairs or value combinations are there. But you just want to find out what are the keys that are present. Simply by this list of the variable name, dictionary name will return. Now you can also not delete it, but I have this definition. I've added this element. Now I will be sorting the dictionary based on the keys. So when I do so, see, it has been it returns a sorted dictionary. So the keys will be returned in a sorted manner. Now the next part of the story is the various looping technologies that we have. So when looping through dictionaries, the key and the corresponding value can be retrieved at the same time using the items method, .items method. Let me show you. So I have a dictionary named as knife, and with the key Galahad, and its value is the pure, and Robin the brave. So for key comma value, what it will return is for every key and every value in this dictionary name knives.items. So I'm iterating over each item that is present in the dictionary. What I'm doing, I'll be printing the key and the value. So see, Galahad the pure, Robin the brave, it's printing. Now I just want to print the first one. So I'll be breaking after the print statement. See, Galahad the pure. Now I'll be saying about the scopes that are there in Python. The scope of a variable, what I'm specifying about, or any function. First, to begin with, is the local scope. A variable created inside a function belongs to the local scope of that function and can only be used inside that function. So I'll define the function named as my function, and I'll assign a value of 300 to the variable x when I'm printing x. So when I call that function, I can see that it's printing x. Now when I print that same variable outside the scope of the function, I'll get that variable name has not been defined. So that is, this x has a local scope within this function. Now global scope. A variable created in the main body of the Python code is a global variable and belongs to the global scope. Global variables are available from within any scope, global and local. Let me first show you the global scope of this variable x. So this x has been initialized to value 300. Now over here I am printing, I'm in the main function, in the function my function, I am printing x, and then I am calling this function, and then again I am printing x. Now since this x has a global scope, it can be assigned from within the function and even outside the function as well. So let me run it. See, I am getting this one. Let me first comment this one. So let me rerun. Here you will get to see twice 300. This one is for within the function, and this one is for this print statement. Now I will be using the global keyword. Now, as I said, if you need to create a global variable but you are stuck in the local scope, then you can use simply the global keyword. Over here I have not used the function, the global keyword, but here when I am within this function and I have to define this variable x as global, I can simply use this global keyword. So over here x has been assigned to 300. Now I'll be accessing this x from outside the function. Let me see if this works or not. Yes, it works. This first two are for this bucket. Over here I am rerunning. See, x has been assigned to 300 and it's printing the value again. So using this global keyword, I can define any variable within the local scope to be a global. Now we have the next thing is Python modules. Now what is a module? Now consider a module to be the same as a code library, a file containing a set of functions you want to include in your application. Let us first create a module. To create a module, we just need to define the code into some section, some other section. So over here I have defined wishes.py as a script, and I have defined two functions, welcome, goodbye. These are the two function names. It both receives one argument name. Now I'll be printing thus something to it. Whenever this function is called, a print statement will be executed. So for this it will be printing Bella Shao and the name. Then over here it will be printing audio and the name. Bella Shao in Italian means welcome, beautiful, and audio means goodbye. And I have also defined a variable. I'll be defining all of them. So now once we have created this module, what will be, so let me call. So I'm importing wishes. This warning you need not think about it. It's just a warning. So I'm calling the welcome function of this module wishes. So when I do so, say Bella Shaw professor, this professor name that I'm passing as the argument, and over here it's printing. Now similarly we can do one more thing, that is we can rename a module. So next thing is renaming a module. What you can do is you can create an alias when you import a module by using the as keyword. So I'll be importing wishes as greet, and now last time I imported wishes and I have called wishes.welcome, but this time I'll be calling the alias using the alias name, that is the greet.goodbye, and I'm again passing the argument professor, say audio professor. This printing happens from over here. So now we can also access the variables that we have defined in the module. For that, let me show you that I'm importing wish as greet. I'm using this alias name greet. So I'm accessing the character variable in greet. So this character is a dictionary. It has the three key: name, portrait by, and spouse, and I'm accessing them by the keys, and I'm assigning the values to these three variables, and then I'm printing them. So see, the character is the professor, portrait by Alvaro Morte, and the spouse name was Raquel Murillo. These are coming from over here, the variable that I've defined in this module. At times what you feel is that when you have a huge operation or huge task in hand, it's better to break down the entire code into various modules and define each module into these separate scripts, and from there import them, so that at any point of time if you're stuck somewhere, if any error comes out, it's quite easy to debug, because you'll easily get to know that from which module the error is coming. So instead of going through 1,000 or 2,000 lines of code, you simply have to go through hundreds or 200 lines of code of the module where the error is happening. So this is another important feature in Python. Now one more thing is input and output. We have various formats. So the first one is fancier outputting formatting. To use the formatted string literal, begin a string with F or F before the opening quotation mark or triple quotation mark inside the string. You can write a Python expression between the curly braces and character, and that refers to the variable or literal. I've said a lot of things. Now let me explain it to you. So what is that? I have defined a variable named as ER and it's 2016, and the event is referendum. So now I'll be printing with this. So this F before the opening quotation mark. This is for this format of printing is known as fancier output formatting. So I'm using this F to beautify, and over here what I'm doing is within the basis I'm using the variable year and the event. So when I print it, see, the values of this variable get replaced. So this is a format of printing. The next one is we can do the same simply using the str.format function or method. What it will do is same, I've defined these two variables year and event, and I'm again printing the result of 0 and 1. Over here 0 means the argument that I will be sending, the first argument, and 1 means the second argument. by index. So within this dot format function, I am sending the two variables which I want to be replaced over here. So let's see, when I print in this format, it prints the result of the 2016 referendum. Over here also it prints your result of the 2016 referendum. So these are just various methods how you can print variables within your print statement. Now there is another method, that is formatted string literal. How to do that? So for that I'm using this F keyword that I can use at the beginning of a sentence. So I'll be using this F keyword. So over here what I'm doing is sorry. So I'm in the braces, I'm using this math.py and :.3f. Let me show you what it happens is, let me run here. So math.py will return the value of pi, and we all know pi, the value of pi is 3.1424242, and it's a long figure. So I'll be using the after decimal 3 places, so that's why I've defined as .3f. So 142, these 3 figures are coming, and the math.py returns the value of pi. So this is a formatted string literal format. This is also called as string for short, and let you include the value of Python expression inside a string by prefixing the string with f or f and writing expression as within parentheses the expression. Now let me define, this is also a formatted string literal where I will be printing the value of the elements on the present in the dictionary named as table. Let me run it. See, the values are getting printed in the same format. Now the string format of printing. So over here, as I showed you, in the dot format I'll be sending in values. So what it does is, we are the thieves who say Bella Ciao. So this was my statement, and within dot format method I am sending the values that are need to be replaced over here and here. So these are the various formats of printing statement. Okay, now we come to the last section of today's session, where I'll be showing you how reading and writing file happens. So this open method returns a file object and is most commonly used with two arguments: open space within bracket file name and the mode in which you are opening. There are various modes such as read, which is stated as R, write, which is stated as W+. Then we can also append contents to a file with A+ mode and various modes. So with open, Bella Ciao. What is this Bella Ciao? Bella Ciao is a text file that I've written over here. So this is the lyrics of the song Bella Ciao, and I'm opening this file as Bella Ciao as file. The alias I'm using for this file is file, and this read data variable will be assigned to the dot read function will read the content of the file. So and then when I'm printing this variable, let's see what gets printed. Over here you get to see that the content of the file gets printed. The content of the file will get printed. Now there is another method of doing this. Over here what I am doing is, I'm iterating over all the lines of the file, and then I'm printing each read line with this function read line. I'm printing each line, and then I'm printing, in the output I am showing a new more line. So when I run this, you get to see that one new line is appended after each line of that file. So these are the various formats in which you can read and write to files. So that's all for today's lesson. Thank Thank you.